Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Star Talk Show. Today we are going to do Emacs and Emacs Lisp coding and tutorial. It's more or less random, okay? Random talk. And so it's gonna be pure Emacs or Emacs related stuff. Maybe some keyboards. So if you have questions, post in the chat, okay? And if you feel it's proper, put money in my pocket. Ching, okay? So, and this is my keyboard. I'm showing you my keyboard. This is Kinesis Advantage 2 linear, okay, linear red, silent red switches. Fantastic. This is my favorite, and this is my ultimate hacking keyboard. I use it for as a macro keypad. So anyway, we're gonna talk about Emacs stuff, okay? So Emacs, what we gonna do? I'm not sure. I'm just going to look around the my notes on topics and see maybe some live coding Emacs Lisp plus tutorial. So my video check, my audio check. Good. Okay, let's begin. Okay, good morning. Keep it. Do you use Emacs for eating as well? Yes, indeed. Hello, everyone. I eat every meal in front of my computer, and 80% of time, 90% of time, maybe 60 technically, on average, would be in Emacs. The other half of the time would be in browser. For the past, at least for the past 10 years, but almost for the past 30 years. Okay, Emacs. Okay, so what are we going to do today? I'm thinking, okay, first of all, let me tell you about my Emacs pink window, this Emily's favorite color. So on this pink window or purple window, you can see all my Emacs command calls. For example, moving cursor by word, or moving cursor by character, moving cursor up and down, or moving cursor by paragraph up and down. Beginning of buffer, end of buffer, and I'm using Firefly keys. Okay, so for example, let me show you some typing. So I'm using real-time demo Firefly keys. Okay, so that is my Emacs package, and you can see all my key strokes on the left of the pink window. Okay, delete that, and if you find some commands you are interested, just search for the web. You'll find it on my website and the source code. Okay, Firefly keys, and I'm using a Vora keyboard. So okay, what is today's topic? Let's see. Do you want me? Do you guys like me to see live coding Emacs Lisp, or some just random chat about some tutorials or demo of Emacs? Okay, so any questions you have about Emacs, ask me. Okay, so let me look at topics, and hello Sid. Is any Lisp dialect used in real world other than Clojure? Yeah, of course. Okay, you probably young from from the look of your question. Lisp is still used. Okay, Scheme Lisp is used mostly in academia. Scheme Lisp or Racket. Okay, and Common Lisp is still used in industry. Like 10 years ago, Google bought this airplane ticket, selling website for big money, billions or whatever, millions, probably millions. Google bought it, so, and it's that website is written in Common Lisp. Common Lisp is, it's industrial, it's still used, but not, it's less and less. It's like Perl. Well, Perl is even more used. So, and Clojure is of course used in many startups. Will you be doing an episode on keyboards soon? If you have some questions about keyboard, you can ask me. Because Emacs people will probably be interested in keyboards. Yeah. So because I talk about keyboards all the time. So anyway, so let's see. What are we going to do? Add XR, HTML, YouTube Linkify to Emacs blog. Okay. Update that. Okay, I think I'm just going to pick random and start doing it instead of talking. Do you suggest me to learn Clojure or Racket? Can you tell the main difference? Okay, you haven't been watching my videos. I talked about that topic for like 10 million times. Okay, just go to my uh, um I talked about Emacs this. Okay, go to okay. Stop. Okay, let me show you quickly. Okay, uh, Xali programming blog. Okay, go to my programming blog. Not my Patreon, of course, but you can pay me. Go to my Patreon and pay me. This article, what's ontology of programming languages? I have 1,000 articles on that. Anyway, so you go to let me show you. Okay, you go to Xali code. You go to my programming blog. You go to then this section comp land perving. Okay, now and then you can see two videos. Actually, I have more than two. It's all about Lisp. Okay, so what's your question? Do you suggest? Okay, just learn Clojure. Okay, Clojure is much more. Uh, you have jobs with Clojure, possible jobs. Okay, but much less if you do Racket or Scheme. Anyway, I talked about this 10,000 times. Each video is 1 hour. Okay, watch them. Okay, we let's go back to Emacs Lisp. Okay. No problem, no problem, Sam. No problem. This is a talk show. Free speech, free speech, and in a chaotic way. Okay, so and randomish. So okay, so let's see. I need my pen. I need my pen to spin. This is a habit. Okay, so anyway, so let's see what we want to do today. Emacs Lisp. Are you a Emacs Lisp user? Okay, try to use Emacs Lisp. What is this? Not enough video to smooth stream. What the? Okay. Okay. So okay. Let me read. Actually, let me do some. Let's see what we're gonna do today. Update because I add period to line end. Okay, so yeah, I talked about that before. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so for example, let me copy that. Okay, okay, let's do that. Okay, so let me show you. So there's a command. For example, if you are on Twitter or if you are on Discord, we have lots of chat. Sometimes you want to, for example, square root. This guy wrote a lot of things. Usually on Discord you don't use comma. Okay, for example, this suppose you wrote something on Discord and you want to put it on your blog. Now there is no comma at the end of the sentence because it's easier to type on Discord. It's not necessary to type comma or on Twitter. I mean not comma period. Okay. So but if you, for example, you add a paragraph and you show in browser, and what you see, then you see this one long sentence that doesn't make sense. So what you want to do is to actually add comma, okay, to each. For example, let me show you. So what you want is something like that, comma. I mean not comma, period, okay, for all each line. So there's a easy. So that's why I wrote a command for it, add period to end line. Okay, enter. You see, it adds the period. Let's do it again. Paste. Okay, let's do it here. So you see, compare this paragraph to the above. You have all the periods. So now suppose I compare. Let's add a paragraph. Okay, shrink. Go to the browser, magnify. You can compare these two paragraphs. The one with the period now makes sense. Now let's go back. And besides that, let me do another thing that's interesting, because you see it's all lowercase. Maybe, and, search, it's all lowercase. So after you add a period, it would be easier to read if you make each beginning of a sentence capital case. So I have a command for it. Press the key. You see, it highlight all the change it part. Now if you go back to browser, okay, hold on a second, undo, cut, paste, and make this one. So we have now 3 versions: the original version, the one with a period, and the one with the period and capital letter. Okay, now if you show in browser, magnify, you can compare the 3 paragraphs, so it's much easier to read, with the period and capital letters. So that's 2 related commands. You can see I call them, you can find the command I called on the left, except if I'm doing meta X. But anyway, so that is the background for the command xar add period. Okay, now but what is my problem? What is it that I want to do? I want, for example, let's see. Okay, let's look at the command. Okay, the source code. Okay, magnify. Okay, let's not magnify. Let's shrink a little bit. Okay, so let's call, you see, meta X xar add period to line end. Now Control F, that will show the documentation for this command. Then tab, go to it. Then here's the source code for this command. Okay, let's magnify. So the source code. So okay, so you see, so usually when I have some useful command, I add it to my Emacs blog. So for example, and I will say URL here, but apparently I don't have it. So that's what I need to do. So let's go to my Emacs blog using a bookmark. So this is my Emacs blog showing browser. Okay, so now I want to see if I ever added that command here. So I don't remember. Sometimes I don't remember because anyway. So let's search for period in this buffer. See, do we find it? So there are several occurrences. Let's look at this one. Okay, so here is the source code. Emacs lisp add period to line end. Okay, so apparently I do not have a dedicated page for it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Yeah, let's look at this one. What does it say? Yeah, to do. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so shrink, show in browser. Show in browser. Then search for period. You see, to do 2021 February, add to Emacs lisp tutorial, xar add period to line end, and xar words etymology link. Anyway, so that's one of the to do. Let's search for period again. Okay, and here is my blog. As I blog, sometimes I don't have time to create a web page for this. So let's do that. Okay. So now I'm in my blog. So this is my blog file. So you can see my xar Emacs blog. So showing browser, you can see that. Now I need to. So what I need to do, I need to create a new page containing the add period command, so other people can search for it and find it. And so create a new page. And also I needed to add that page to one of the index page here, table of contents. For example, here is Emacs tutorial. Firefox does not remember the font size if it's local file. Anyway, so you see there are different topics. Emacs setup, Emacs keys. So I need to, after I create a new page for that command, I need to add it to some one of these page, probably in eLisp examples. Okay, probably. So copy the URL, one single key press. This is ultimate hacking keyboard, my Marco keypad. Toggle. Okay, then go to my Emacs blog again, create a new entry, paste the link we just copied, and make it into a link, make it a paragraph, show in browser, and you can see Emacs lisp examples. This is the index we want to add that page to. So okay, so now we want to create a page that the file name should be something like add period to line end. Okay, now I have written a command that automates this process. Otherwise, normally what I have to do is new buffer, go to XHTML mod, magnify, then type HTML HTML, oh wait, let's switch to HTML mod. Okay, HTML mod, then type HTML that creates a template, then change the title, then change add Google tracker, Google ads. There's no Google ad on my Emacs page, but I have to add a author, add a date. Tedious. So close that. I have written a command. So look at the command. Okay, so look at I just call meta x xmp. Okay, xmp is a alias to XR new page. So let's say let me show you. Okay, Control H F xmp. So what is it? So it explains here. It's an alias for XR site new page, right? Okay, so let's just call it. Wait. Okay, so put a cursor on this line, call xmp or XR site. XR site new page. Okay, enter. There it is. It becomes a link. Now, if you move the cursor to the link, enter, you can see it created a file. Now shrink, show in browser, magnify. So you can see it's a HTML file, everything, all the templates and footers and navigation buttons are all there already. So all I have to do is just add the content. So I created a new page. Now let's see, I start to write the page. So this is a useful command to add. This command add a period to each end of line in current text block. Okay, this is useful when you copy text from Discord or Twitter to your blog. Okay, show in browser. That's it. That's what we want. Okay, and I also need the navigation bar. Okay, let's do that later. But anyway, so close it. Now we are back in the make a paragraph. We are back in my Emacs blog. This file needs to be added to this index file. So, but first of all, let's add the code. So let's search for period. Okay, least matching lines, or I want to show all occurrences of lines that contains period. Okay, so you can see here is a section I did. Emacs lisp code. Let's you see it's unreadable, but press a button. Now you can see the lisp code. If you are using org mod Babel, you might be familiar with this feature. So anyway, so copy, cut. Okay, so we basically cut this or that. Okay, now to go to the beginning, now shrink. Now go to the beginning of buffer, search for section. So this is where we were before. So go open the file, show in browser. That's the empty file. Go back, then paste it here. Okay, show in browser. Now you can see we are almost done. This is my code. Okay, now close that. I mean go back to Emacs, then press a key to syntax highlight. Let's do it again. Okay, you see it's not syntax highlighted, so I press a key. Now back to browser, refresh. You can see so this all is part of XR HTML mod. It's free online, you can use it. Now okay, so that's that. Okay, actually there is something I want to do. Okay, so hold on a second. Let's let's do it, in the proper order. Okay, so close that. Now the file name, I need to follow my tradition of title of files. So first of all, make it capitalize title. Let's undo. Let me show you. Okay, so copy that, paste it here. So I'm going to call the command. I want to title this line by sentence case, by title case, meaning capitalize all words of each word, first letter of each word, except things like to, and, is. Those are called what's the name for those words in grammar? I forgot. But anyway, watch. Okay, do it. Okay, you see the to is not capitalized, but the others are. So copy that. We don't need that. Okay, copy that. Open the file again. Now you need to update in this title tag and also in this h1 tag. So you have to update both places, and by my own convention, the title and the first h1 must always be exactly the same. Okay, so I have a command to do that. Just press, let me show you. Okay, so look at the pink window. I press two keys, delete n, not end, but because I have a brief, so it becomes end. But delete the key is a key, there. So let's see, how am I doing? Am I doing good? OBS, yeah, check healthy. I'm healthy. Okay, so I'm gonna read the comments in a bit. Okay, so wait, let's continue. So yeah, update the title. So the title, now go back to browser. You can look at the title and the first heading. Refresh. It's done. Yeah, the title, the title is in the tab, but anyway, this is the h1. Okay, and this line is no longer needed. So okay, so let's edit. So this is the process of creating a blog, of writing a blog, my own process. So written on the spot. So this is my blog. Before it says written on the spot. This is useful because when in online chat, often you don't type the ending period, but when you copy and paste to a blog and reformat it to HTML, you want the ending period. Okay, so let's compare which description is better for this page. Okay, let's see. This is useful when you copy text from Discord or Twitter to your blog. Yeah, okay, so let's worry about the editing, so-called editing, the make them, make the text more conformant to grammar or ease of reading, things like that. But let's worry about that later. Okay, so anyway, so here is the basically here's a page. Okay, let's shrink, show in browser one more time, show in browser, refresh. Yeah, so essentially that's it for this page. So people search it, they might find it, and here is the code they can put in their Emacs in it, then they have it. There's no dependencies. Okay, but okay, there's more things I need to tidy up for this before I sync to my server. So let me show you. But before we do that, let's read the comments a little bit. Pancrisno, learn Clojure if you want a job. Learn Racket if you want to learn about programming language itself. Yes, exactly. That's a good description. Thank you. QPP, do you have a video on Emacs native compilation? No. No, I don't have that. Yeah. Those kind of things are not, I know the nerds are always interested in those. I'm not too interested in those. I'm more interested in, the actual usefulness or application. I'm less interested in tricking memories, in creating a more cached version, or maybe a bit faster this way or that way. But you have to spend a lot of time. But anyway, I know it's a great feature, native compilation. I'll wait for Emacs 28. When it's released, I'll just download it. I don't have to, I'm not going to. I'm getting old. I don't have too much time to toy, Windows managers. Which one is the best? Things like that. Okay, pretty slick. Add period to each line. Yes. And what are your thoughts on Rust programming language? Is that a troll? I talked about that a million times. Okay, okay, so now you can see now this page is almost done, but I want to update. For example, this version on my blog is 2020 November, okay, but I have updated. How do I know? Because if you do describe function, then go to the source again. Wait, describe function, go to the source code, you can see the latest version is actually 2021 April. I updated. So I want to, and also I need to add a URL here. Remember, before I don't have it, now I have. Okay, so back to Emacs, copy file path again. Let me do it again. Okay, watch the pink window. You can see, press 3 keys, copy the file path, go back to previous, go back to here, then paste this, and okay, let me do this so you can see actually. So you see here is the file path, full path on my local file system. Now I want to turn that into a URL. So I have a command I've written, so I press 3 keys, then it becomes that, with a full URL. Okay, now I don't need a title, delete it, and then I want to make it so that when people do describe function on this command, this link will actually become clickable, so people can click it. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, let me demonstrate. Okay, for example, so now we evaluate this function, done. Now we call describe function add period to end line. You can see, so here is the function inline doc. So it has the URL, but it's not clickable. You cannot do nothing to it. I want it to be clickable. So how do you do that? Let me show you. Okay, so this URL, so all you have to do is add a format like that. Okay, let me do this again. Okay, let's make it clear. Copy. Okay, so what you want is this. Okay, this is when you have a line of this format, capital URL, then with a that backtick character followed by a straight single quote, then Emacs will automatically make that URL clickable. So let me show you. Okay, let me demo. So eval the buffer, describe function, do it again. So you can see, magnify, you can see add period to line is something defined in this file. It's bound to this this key and blah blah blah, and there it is, URL. You can click it. It says 404 error because I just created the page, but I have not uploaded to my website yet. But that's good. That's what we want. So close this. So back to, let's tidy this up and tidy this up. Okay, that's what we want. So copy this file. Copy the code. Now I want to go back to my blog. So what, and I have written another command. I just press 3 keys. I can jump to the file, even though if it's a URL. For example, right now this URL does not exist on my website. However, it exists on my local file system because we just created it. So I want to jump to it. So I wrote a command which is called here, open file at cursor. So when that command sees this URL is a URL, and if this URL is my own website, by checking whether it matches Ergo Emacs or xali.info, then we'll just open it instead of launching to a browser. So do it. I'm in the file and show in browser. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, close that. Let's do it again. Copy the code, copy, go to it. Then you see here's the lisp code. I need to basically delete this whole thing and paste over the new one. Okay, so there are quite a few ways to do it. Let me show you one way. Okay, okay, so paste it here, then go back to here, then put my cursor on the last paren, just press a key, then the whole thing is deleted. Let me show you again. Okay, you see, put the cursor because it will delete all the content of the matching parens. You see the parens here, you see, from here to here. So I just put the cursor here, press a key, and it's good. So now we have the new code. You see, this is a new version date. Now I just press the key again, it becomes syntax highlighted. Show in browser, there it is with the URL and with the today's date. So that's how I create a blog and update my code. So some of the, that's a demo of what I do. And this, let me show you another feature. If you want to edit this code, you can just press the key. So it removes the code from the HTML and create a new buffer here, and you can edit it. And once you are done editing, something, you delete that, paste it back here. Okay, so you can see then you highlight it again. Okay, shrink, show in browser. Okay, that's what we want. Now there is one more thing. We need the navigation bar on the left. So to do that, you click on that. Oh wait, this is okay. This navigation bar is incorrect. It shouldn't go back to Emacs font. It should go back to it should go back to here. So anyway, we need this navigation bar here. So, and we need to add that page to somewhere here. Let's see, where do we want to add it? Let's do it one thing at a time. So copy the URL, shrink the browser, go back to Emacs. Okay, then close this. Now we are back in my Emacs blog. Okay, yeah, okay, so actually the URL is already here. So what we want, so open Emacs lisp examples, show in browser. That's that. Back to here, search for panel. So the panel the navigation panel is near the bottom. Okay, I can do it fast because I've been working on this for years. So basically, copy the panel, copy it, close it, go back to this file, open it, go to the near the end after the main. Okay, paste the panel. Now show in browser. So you can see it's starting to look good. Now I need to add this page to one of the index table of content here. So where should it be? Let's see. So this one is Emacs period 2 line. Okay, I need to change. Okay, the name is actually incorrect. So let's fix that. Emacs. Actually, this should be elisp. Okay. Add period 2 line ends. Okay. Okay. Show in browser. That's good. Back to Emacs. Okay, now the title is correct. Now let's fix the navigation bar for the top, okay, which is this line. Okay, so how do you do that? Close that, back to the Emacs. The easiest way is okay, so let's go to Emacs lisp example and go to one of the Emacs lisp example. So on this page you have command to escape quotes. Okay, copy the URL, shrink, back to Emacs, paste it here, open it, and go down. You can see here is the navigation bar. You know, this nav correspond to that. Okay, copy it, close it, delete that line, go back to this line, go here, paste it here. So this is the new one we want. We don't need the old one anymore. So show in browser, there it is, back to Emacs, correct? Okay. Okay, so now we need to add it to here. So where, let's see, add period to line ends. So this is one of page that as a Emacs Lisp example. So add period to line end. We need to add it to somewhere, you know, that's similar. Period to line ends. Okay. Let's add it to bracket cap words. Okay. Let's add it to text transform under cursor. Yeah, so this belongs to the category text transformation under cursor. So let's add it after escape quotes. Okay, wait, let's add it bracket cap words after bracket cap words. Okay, so that's a little bit involved. So let's see. So here is a panel, search for bracket. So here is a line that says bracket cap words. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to do. So I want to change every file that contains these two lines. Okay, actually let's say change every file that contains these lines. Let me show you. Okay, new buffer. Let me show you. Okay, back, copy the file path, back, paste it, magnify. So I need to change every file of this text by something. Okay, wait, by something here. Something here is in addition to these. So here's the file path. I need to make it into a list, you know, list item. So I press a key. Let me show you the pink window. So I press a key. You see, here file path, press a key. That command is assign HTML lines to list. Okay, then delete this URL we don't need. So, and also let me magnify. Also modify this. We don't want the word elisp there. This part came from the title of the file. So, but in the index page, we don't want elisp there, because otherwise every item will say elisp, you know, so it's annoying. So anyway, so we want to change text like that into a text add here with this additional line. Okay, to all files. So to you know, potentially thousands of files. Actually, it's probably more likely 700 files. So this is a directory. So what do you do? Okay, so what do you? Let me show you what I do. Okay, copy this. I call. Let me show you. Okay. You know, usually I can. You know. Okay, let me just do it. Okay, so I call this command, which is find replace text, and paste the text I want to find. Okay, enter. Then I need to paste the replace string. So how do what's the replace string? Basically this part. Okay, copy it. Okay, paste. Okay, this is the replacement text. Okay, enter. Now in which directory? Okay, Emacs, ergo Emacs, yes. Now what file path regular expression? it should be .html. Okay, write changes to file, yes. Fixed case in search, yes. Fixed case in replacement, yes. Make backup, yes. Okay, okay, so you can see these are the changes. So this command is one of the package find. Okay, it's on mailpath, and the command is find replace text, and this is the input directory, HTML files, write to file, true, backup, true, search string is this. Okay, then here are the result. You have, this, you have literally few hundred. Okay, so close it, it's done. And as for this file, we don't need anymore. Close it. Do you want to save? No. Okay, now shrink, show in browser. There you have it. You see, add period to line ends, and you see shows there. So you can click on that, and you can click on that. You can go around. Let's shrink. Click, 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 click. Good. Okay, shrink. So it's done. Okay, that's it for that. And maybe that's it for today. Let's see, how long have I been talking? 40 minutes. And I'm gonna answer some questions. Okay, what are your thoughts on Rust? Okay, Erlang, Elixir, opinions. Okay, like I said before, I did 1,000 videos on which programming to learn, what is their characteristics, and let me show you again. You can find those in this URL. Okay, comp land perving. So here's 2 of my videos talking about programming languages. Each one is 1 hour long, and it's more than that. And here's another video 1 hour long talking about syntax, syntax issues related to programming languages. And if you click on that semantic noodle, here is another video I've done, the Xan Talk Show, and this one is about programming languages and their culture. Okay, Perl, Python, Ruby. So as to what about Rust, what about Erlang, what about Elixir? Okay, I talked about those a million times. But in particular, I don't know Erlang and Elixir that much. Okay, but I talked about kind of relevant topics. Okay. Okay, so that's about Emacs. Yeah, I think that's that's it for these. Okay, let's wrap up. Okay, so let's double check one more time. So we created this file today with this command, and all I have to do now is to upload it to my server. Okay, Danielle Langlois, haven't seen you for a long time. Okay, so actually I think that's it for today. Let me drink my drink. This is fresh fruit juice plus energy drink. And let me turn on this so you can see me, my glorious face. Take a break. Doing a talk show is not easy. After a while it becomes rather easy, but it's kind of tedious, because if I were to do this myself, it'll be done in 5 minutes, 10 minutes to create this page. But if you do a video talk show, you need to explain, right? Because you just do otherwise you'll see your coworkers, they just blah 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 typing on the keyboard and it's done, but you don't get to know what's going on. So you have to kind of explain for each step. So if you like my things, go buy my tutorial, my Emacs Lisp tutorials. Okay, so Emacs and Emacs Lisp. Thank you. Or PayPal and Patreon me. Okay, what is it now? What are we? So I'm gonna read some comment. Anything else? Anything else, guys? So so Alpha Beta has a question. How does Wolfram language compare? Are you asking that question in earnest, or are you like trolling me? Because I talked about that quite a few times in the past 2 weeks. Mathematica is the greatest language of them all. In fact, maybe that we can I can do I wanted to I can start to do some Mathematica. Okay, let me show you. Okay, wait, not Bing, Wolfram language. Okay, because I want I'm in Armored. I love Mathematica. I've been coding it for 15 years, from 1993 to about 2005, but I stopped since 2005 for reasons. Okay, because I need to for reasons. Okay, because so and so I'm back on Mathematica. So one of the thing I already did, if you go to my YouTube, okay, so let me show you. Okay, you go to my XRD programming. Okay, so open hacker code, go to xrd.info. Okay, xrd.info. Then you go to programming, or you just go down. You see there's a Mathematica. So here is my collection of my articles and related things about Mathematica, the language. Beginning about last month, I started to do videos and tutorials and demo and philosophical discussion about Mathematica, the language. So far I have about I think five videos. So this is the first one. This one is, you should watch it. Okay, Xa Talk Show 2021, February 6th. This is my first one. Okay, characteristics of Haskell, Python, Lisp, Mathematica, and Stefan Wolfram. So this is 1 hour video, and I tell you, this video is not technical, so you won't see any code. But however, I tell you the nature, the characteristics of many different languages. For example, how does Python different from Lisp philosophically? How does Haskell, how does Haskell approach Haskell's model of computation? Things like that. So this video. Then this one is my first demo of Wolfram, Mathematica, the language. You can this one. So how do you get it to? Okay, so and after that, I've done 3 more videos, like yesterday also. So like sometimes I don't know, you guys are trolling me, what? Because I'm gonna tell you things. Okay. So back to the question. Oh, by the way, I want to mention this. So, the Clojure, the inventor of Clojure. Okay, by the way, I have a tutorial on Clojure. Okay, so you click on that, you see programming language tutorials index. These are tutorials I've written for different programming languages, and I can tell you that which one I'm very good. I'm master of. I would say I'm not okay. Let's say expert. Okay, let's not say master. I'm master. In some of them as well. But I'm master of Emacs Lisp, Wolfram language, and Perl. Okay, these three, and also HTML and CSS. But you may not consider them as programming language. I mean, they are technically, but anyway. So let me just say I'm an expert of fairly. Okay, okay. Let me try the precise version. Okay, I'm a master. I was a master, the world's top master of Wolfram language and Perl. What do you mean by top? I would say within the world's top 1,000. Yeah, 1,000. Okay, uh, expert I was of Wolfram language and Perl back in around year 2000. Okay. Now, I'm also an expert of Emacs Lisp, but I would not put myself, within Word 100, 1,000 top because, well, actually, maybe that too, because there's not many Emacs Lisp coders. But I would say compared to other Emacs Lisp coders, I'm not that good. Okay, I mean there are a lot Emacs Lisp coders who really knows language inside out. Okay, I wouldn't claim. When you talk about who is expert, how much it's kind of like a sensitive topic, and how do you compare, but it's not incorrect to say I've coded Emacs Lisp for 15 years since 2005. Okay, Wolfram language for 15 years. Perl is actually for 5 years, but that was in industry. Coding every day with pressure, and you have to code. So again, let me tell you this. So coding, if you are just suppose you are Haskell, you are phonetic, Haskell phonetic. I know a lot of people. You guys, many of you guys, Haskell phonetics or Racket phonetics. But if you haven't worked in an industry where you need to code that language every day for let's say 2 years and lots of pressure, and it's not like you just sit here and choose what you want to code. No, it's not like it. It's like there are 1,000 things you need to get done, and from 1,000 libraries you never touched. You don't know how it works, but you just have to get it done. Okay, you forget about learning it slowly and to know exactly what they are. Forget about that. There's deadlines. That's how coding industry is like. So the result, your code, your final code, you give it to your boss. Usually it's not good, but however, you have to do lots of coding and get lots of things done, and oftentimes in fact most of the time, at least half of the time, you don't even know what you are doing. You just all you know is that just do put this code. It works, and send it to the the QA team. Let them work. Let them send it to the QA team. Let them kick it back to you. But you've done your job. Money, ching, $10,000 a month, lots of money. So that kind of coding in an industry is a bit different from like what I am now. I haven't been coding in industry really for 20 years almost. Yeah, that's kind of I've done some contract. Okay, but anyway, for 15 years, but I've done some contract in between. So I'm kind of mixed case. So anyway, my point here is that coding, a lot of people you see online, like you don't know who they are. They talk about Haskell or Lisp or Racket, or Elixir, especially like one of the fancy languages, Elixir or uh, what the Erlang. It seems, oh my God, they know so much, but it's not necessarily so. Okay, it's very different when you just study a language, and master it. It's not necessarily that one is better than the other. For someone who has, for example, industrial coding experience, let's say with Python, compared to another person who is a computer scientist, who is a computer scientist or mathematician background, who also coded Python for 2 years, for 5 years, let's say. So one is a computer scientist working in academia research, coding Python for AI or whatever. The other guy is, joined a startup coding for Python, in a startup. Both of them have 5 years of experience of coding Python. their understanding of the language and their it would be very different. Okay, the academic guy will know. Also depends on the person, depends on what he's doing. Okay, so but anyway, the academic guy tends to know many details, technical details or technicalities about Python, the language, how it works, what's the meaning of an object, in a very precise manner. On the other hand, the industrial coders, he may not know that much technical detail, but he will be but the industrial guy is more likely to be able to get a job done. Whatever new project, he'll be able to do it in a day, while the academic guy will be much slower. So anyway, I'm talking about some of the differences. So anyway, I have a good, lots of expertise in Wolfram language, in Perl, in SVG, HTML, CSS. I grew up with them. I watched their birth. In Linux, I've been using Unix since 22 years ago. Emacs, Lisp, uh, and Python. I'm okay with Python, and Golang. I'm also okay. So, anyways, let me tell you what I do not know that well. Okay, Closure, I don't know that well. I coded Closure for half a year. Java, I do not know that well. I don't like Java, and I coded for half a year, more or less. PHP, I I also coded for half a year, or a year. Like that was 15 years ago. And but however, PHP, I've read their entirety of documentation. So so did I for Closure, entirety of the Closure's documentation, because I reading documentation word by word from the first page to the last of all official, entire official existing documentation is my thing. That's one. It's one of my obsession. So I've read, all these. I've read the entire documentation. Some of them 1,000 pages of Mathematica, Closure, PHP, Perl, multiple times, in many cases, multiple times, and also several 5 books. I have a book. If you search for Saudi Pearl survey, anyway, I'm not going to go into. So okay. Where am I going? I forgot. And also JavaScript. Let me mention JavaScript. I studied in depth. So of all my tutorials, if you can pick one that is the most in depth, technicality of the language, of the languages, technicality of the languages according to its official documentation, despite despite my different experiences or expertise, JavaScript is actually the one. Okay, of all my tutorials, my JavaScript tutorial is actually the most in depth and technically correct, and so detailed, and is also the most. I have like few hundred pages, the most voluminous than my other tutorials. Okay, so that's my description of kind of my programming language experiences, which language I know better, in what aspect, and their documentation, which one I read most. For example, I haven't read Python's documentation. I wouldn't say I read them all, like word by word. Usually that's what I that's what I do, but I don't like Python. Golang is fantastic. Okay, Golang is very simple, very easy to learn, fast, and the documentation is superb. Okay, I'm going to do another video about documentation some other day, because I have an entire collection of essays about documentation in programming languages and programming industry, and you can find it by go to Saudi programming blog and read this one. Okay. Jargons of software industry. When programmers use math jargons such as git directed acyclic graph, Haskell monad, HTTP idempotency, or Lisp homoiconicity, They don't know which side is mouth, which side is ass. Okay, that is my description of the documentation of the software industry. Uh, so I have like over the past 20 years I've written tens of articles about different aspect. I give you examples aspect about them. Okay, so let's see what else. Let's see. So I rambled. So today was supposed to be just Emacs Lisp. Then, due to thank you guys for the questions that got me started to talk about programming languages, which is my obsession, which is my love. Even though if you ask me, is study of programming language design, is that what I really want to do in my life? No. What I really want to do is mathematics. That's another subject I truly love. Okay, I talked about this in the past few weeks. Many of these things many times. Mathematics. Because why? So why do I prefer math over programming language design? Let me tell you. Okay, so because mathematics, it's deep, it's far deeper than programming languages. Now when we talk about, usually, you people, industrial programmers, those who work at Google, Facebook, Microsoft, or whoever on Twitter, you see them every day. They debate about languages. These people, what they are talking about, or on Hacker News, Hacker News, Reddit, you see them often, right? So what are they talking about? They are usually it has like almost zero, nothing to do with computer science. So first of all, make a distinction. The vast majority, the what programmers, the industrial programmers, what they talk about every day online, their content, the subject matter, usually like has nothing to do with computer science. Okay, computer science as a academic subject. First of all, know that. Okay, then so when most people talk about programming languages design, what do you think of Elixir? What do you think of Rust? What do I think? Regardless what I think or what you think, the subject matter of what you think about some certain language has nothing. You have zero to do with computer science. And so in other words, it's like it's not, it's just chat. It's like, which bikini is beautiful. Like girls, they talk about bikini or bags or shoes. It's just dramatic. It's like it's crap. It's a chit chat. Okay, but that's what programmers love. That's you guys. I love it too. So it has nothing to do with computer science whatsoever. Okay, first of all. Now, secondly, between computer science, I mean, okay, computer science or maybe some programming, uh, what programmers talk about. Between that and mathematics, mathematics is far deeper, and this it's absolute. Okay, there's one correct answer due to this definition. So there's if you define something this way, there's one correct answer. There's no other. Okay, there's no in between. It's possible there's in between, but that in that case, that in between is well defined. They also define it. Okay, for example, in logic, there's fuzzy logic. Okay, you don't say, oh, like pretend I'm a programmer talking about math. Some other programmers say logic, and I say I counter. You are bullshit. There's no such. I mean, there's also fuzzy logic, but you have to understand. It's like even the name says fuzzy logic, but in math, as part of math, that's not fuzzy at all. That's well defined fuzzy logic. It's mathematical. It's still math. So in math in general, so it's like not in general. I mean, absolutely. If it's not, this if there's no one correct answer, that's not math, basically. Because math, there are so many ways to define math. What is math? I mean that there's tons of books written about what is mathematics. But basically, one way to put it is that when it's very precise and well understood, that's math. Okay. Anyway, so math is very deep. In fact, you can consider the entire computer science as a just one branch of math. Okay, and math, as as in jokes, physicists, chemistry, they all admire, adore mathematics because math is like almost one level above them. They all need math. So it's like math is God. On the other hand, when programmers talk about things, there are things. It's like functional programming versus object oriented programming. That's one of the hot topic, right? And also which programming language is better. This is like this. It's not well defined. It's not well defined. Or which methodology is better. For example, you have the voodoo. Okay, I started to ramble non-stop. Okay, I'm starting to ramble non-stop. I'm gonna close down in 1 minute actually. Okay, David Conant mentioned intuitionistic math. I forgot what's the context, but intuitionistic math is very great mathematics, okay, and also very precise. In fact, it requires that get us into homotopy type theory and type systems like the Haskell people talk about all the time. That's fantastic, and intuitionistic math. That's also the fun. That has to do with the foundation of mathematics. Okay. Anyway, so I started to ramble. So we're gonna shut down. Okay. So back to why do I like math much more than the programming kind of talk? Because when it comes to programming, then you have lots of crap. Then you have like software engineering. They tell you about software engineering like agile or extreme programming. The programmers, industrial programmers, talk about them all the time. Like, oh, which you should do extreme programming. Oh, you should do programming. Oh, you should do more testing. Unit testing. Crap. Or you should talk about, oh, you should do patterns. Oh, this is a pattern. This is a factory pattern. This is anti-pattern. Pattern their ass. That's what That's what programmers. Or then it comes to the Unix philosophy. The Linux and Unix idiots. They talk about Unix philosophy. Everything should be small. Small is beautiful. Or dry principle. Do it once. Crap, crap. They don't know. They don't even know what they are talking about. They don't even know what they are the context they are talking about. They like these industrial programmers have no idea. So that is the characteristics of what programmers, these industrial programmers are talking about. You see them every day on Reddit, on Hacker News, Emacs versus Vim, which language versus C versus C++, which is better. They don't know nothing. They don't even know. They don't know. Okay, that's therefore, so that's but I'm also interested because it's kind of, it's just it's incorrect to say it's wrong. Okay, it's not wrong. It's not like stupid. Okay, it's nothing like that. Like, for example, some people like to dance. Some people like to do shopping, or guys like we like keyboards and mouse. We talk about them all the time. It's not like you have to be correct. It's fun. Okay, but however, that's the characteristics of what programmers talk about. And if you compare to math, to the mathematics, it's like entirely different thing. Math is very deep, and it has some kind of significance. Okay, while the programmers, typical programmers chat, there's very little significance unless you really start to talk about the actual computer science. But most programmers, they don't talk about computer science. Computer science, like they just use the jargons. They don't even understand what the jargon means. Like directed graph. The Git people, the Git tutorials sometimes will claim, oh, Git is just a directed graph. You should learn math. But these people don't know nothing about math. Directed graph, my ass. No mathematician will ever say that. These like this is, this like a kid who learned about car. Then the kid will say, "Oh, this is my dad's transportation system." Like what? What the fuck? Just say this is your dad's car or this is your mom's car. But the kid just learned the idea. Oh, transportation system. Then he's gonna tell his friend, "Look, my dad has this transportation system." This is the same way when programmers use math jargons. Like they'll say, they'll tell you, Git is a directed graph, or Lisp, Lisp syntax is icon homogeneity. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Okay, bye my tutorials. Bye guys. Oh, alpha beta. So, I've been doing videos for the past, starting in 2009, and I'm getting better at it. So, if you like, you might watch my recent videos, like the videos in the past 1 or 2 months. Start to check them out, because programming language is the main thing, almost the main thing I talk about. Mostly Emacs, these programming languages, JavaScript, Lisp, a lot of Lisp, and keyboards, keyboard and mouse. Okay, so that's it for today. Let's see. Thank you guys for watching. Uh, okay, bye guys. Copy that. Okay, bye guys.